line. Take the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Take the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up.
Good evening, good day, good night, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, or good after. Well, I can't talk today. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show here on PTM Racing TV. We are live here tonight at Daytona International Speedway, where we will see the return and revamp of the racing series here for a super late model division, and we'll get more into that in just a minute as we show the track tech talk for the tri-oval D-shaped Daytona International Speedway track. This will be one of the toughest tracks these drivers will face on all day long, and it is one of, if not the best tracks that we could think of to start this entire season off for the new revamped series. So let's get down to business as we always do. Here is our starting lineup here tonight. On the pole, Jason Reif in the 54 will be the starting man. It is outside. It's the closer, Cindy Taylor. Row number 2 is Jeffrey Oaks in the 20 is outside. It's going to be Bob Hutchings in the 77. Row number 3, it's War number 1 in the car number 1. And row outside of him will be Chantel the Throttle Pottle in the number 5. Row 4, Brian Healy in the 83 to his outside. It's the 84 of Matthew Hoffert. Row 5, Chad Lancaster in the 22 is outside. Joker Joe Nuttleman in the number 4. Row 6, Robert on the rattlesnake himself in the 21 is outside. The 72 of Jeffrey Todd Tufts. Final starter, the checkmate himself, the number 8, Keith Checkmate Taylor. Your starting lineup is initiated and formed. There's only one thing left to do. Get the drivers on the track and head up for tonight's action here live on the show as we're ready to go here. They are getting set up. I see the lights come up on the screen. That means one thing. They are coming alive, and they're coming out. Here they come down out of pit road. We're ready to go racing here down on the show. Thirteen cars are locked in with us here tonight to go battle here in a new war. They will be the starting guns, the drivers that are trying to make a name for themselves early in the season and make themselves presence felt throughout this one. A lot at stake, obviously, for these drivers tonight. There's one thing that probably people are wondering right now. Okay, why is this called the Revamped Series? Why is this the first race, etc., etc.? We know there was a driving here for the Super Late Model Division here in Season 3, so why now? Like, what a change. So, for those at home that are a little confused and they don't know about this, back, I believe it was March 9th, March 9th, 2021, we had an update from iRacing themselves that completely changed up the look, the feel, and everything of these Super Late Model cars. You notice that they're a little more squared in shape, not as round as they used to be. There's some differences that made into the change, and one of the biggest changes also was how the car feels and looks, as you obviously can see with Cindy the Closer Taylor here. The look of the cars are different, the feel of the cars are different, and the design and everything that is in there completely changed the game up and completely changed the strategy up for the drivers. And the league felt it was unfair to go into a new series, pretty much, if you will, with the way things were playing out. So they decided to do right by the drivers and by the people to set this league up as a little bit of a new season, and they are going to do just that. As the green flag flies, we're underway here, coming across down on the front straightaway. They are on and firing them on. Coming across down around out of turn one already. There's some drivers falling back way behind the field. Matthew Hoffer being one of them, as well as Joker Doe number 4 and Brian Healy being 3. The pace cars right now up on the front here. That is Jefferson Rife with the early advantage, leading him through. The 20 of Jeffrey Oaks still getting a little bit of a push, a little bit more than you see the Cup cars get these days. As the number 1 of Warren Young, followed right behind in the NOS Energy Drink. Getting some runs up onto the banking here out of turn 4. They will come 40 laps to the distance here tonight for these Super Late Model cars. It's a long stretch of racing, a long stretch of road. And that's one thing that's going to play out here tonight is how far and how distance out everyone goes. With no problems down there, though. There is big problems here in turn 4 out of the front straightaway. Brian Healy comes to a sudden halt and a crash. The first caution of the night comes out. The first caution comes out of the night, so you know what that means around here. Folks, we're going to the PTM Instant Replay. Let's look at the replay here. Here's the onboard. See right here, came out of turn 4, and there was troubles for Matthew Hofford and Healy. Healy, unfortunately, gets right into the 84 of Hofford, and oh my, the big cloud of smoke falls in pursuit. And that brings out the first caution of the night. So troubles early, but it is okay. It is only the start of the night, only the start of the race, so there's plenty of time to make up for that. 40 laps in the distance as we met before here. This is lap number 2 now, you see. We'll have to go a few more laps around the track to get everyone squared away and taken care of. Brian Healy being one of them, unfortunately. He's not going to be too happy about that, I betcha. One thing you might see later on tonight is our little battle box we have coming out here. This is the battle box here you see now on the screen. This will show you who is where and who is when in position. So Jason Rife being your race leader at the moment. That is where he is at position-wise, and that is where he's been going. And you can see Jeffrey Oaks, Warren Young, Cindy Taylor, and Bob Hutchings, as well as Chantel Throttle Pottle in their positions, respectively. You'll see that as time goes on here tonight, and you'll see where that comes by every now and then. Something new we're trying out around here, just something to kind of give you guys and viewers at home a little more of a viewing experience. We always try to change things up a little bit. Obviously, another thing you'll see is maybe if you see these markers right here, the stats, the gain position. So if you see it go into the green, that means if you see it go into the negatives, that means that they have a lost position on them. But if you see it in the plus, that means they've gained some. So that's just something to kind of be aware of here tonight. Just something to see if we bring it up. Just something new to try out, something to kind of show you around the world. Still under caution at the moment, unfortunately, though, because of the little wreck we had there, Brian Healy and Matthew Hofford. Joker Joe Nuttleman kind of falling in line there as well. So while they get settled up and taken care of again, we'll head up to a quick commercial message, but we don't go anywhere. When we return, we'll see more of the action live here on the spot. This is Pete Metal and Metal Racing League's return with the Super Late Model Division.
At Maconi Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.maconisetupshop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. Maconi Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey. I started trying to look for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
Welcome back to the show right now as we're getting set for the return of racing action here from the drivers here at Pedal to Metal Racing League. They're getting set up here and taken care of here. A lot of drivers currently still dealing with the after effects of that little first caution they had going into pit road, taking care of their equipment. And that will pretty much now set up everything we need to go for. So right now the early start's obviously going to the drivers here up front. You'll see a lot of that as time goes on here tonight. You see that flagman up in the air getting ready to wave them in. The green lights flash back. Oh, we're underway. Off the restart here, Chantel, the throttle follower, going side by side up into the wall protection there. Having a little bit of problems trying to keep that 5 on line. She get out of trouble, she does, but Todd does. Whoa! Almost got sent for a ride and a half there as they come down the back straightaway. These Super Late Model cars are definitely not what they were back when they started here on the first race of the season. That was a 50-lap race there, and these cars here, they are completely different in feeling and on the grip. The one thing I kind of noticed is they're a lot looser, not as tight on the runs here, especially when even you're running on a custom setup. They're very hard to get tightened in and really set up this way. Some folks like that idea and some hate it, but honestly, I'm not really a fan of it category. And it's definitely showing here, but as we take it to the front end here, you got 5 drivers in a pack to the battle up for the lead. On the middle stretch there, Cindy the Closer Taylor tries to make a run there around 77 of Bob Hutchings. Bob right now, one of the other Canadian drivers, trying to deliver the Daytona Draft train on your scoreboard here. Here we go on board with them. Well, you can just feel that power and all that momentum they carried through, and now here comes a run here from Bob on the outside line, trying to make it up there with Warren Young. But the draft doesn't seem to help follow with him or give him any options there. He doesn't seem to have the run I think he was looking for. Jeffrey Oaks will command and continue to take the lead here on the early going. Jason Wright, who started on the win circle, right now currently trying to find his way to the winner's circle. I should say, excuse me, started on the pole tonight. having to deal with Cindy the Colder Taylor right to the front of him, and then 77 of Hutchings still kind of in that no man's land territory. Got a little bit of that draft going there. Those two, the 77 and the 7, battling it out here for third. A heated battle between the drivers for third. Down around, of course, out of turn 2 here once more. Everybody's still in their position and on their way down. Everyone doing what they have to kind of keep it going and keep the momentum forward here. Battle still commencing here now. Bob looks like he's got a little bit of company coming up. There on the outside line, he has a little bit of momentum coming through. Jeffrey Oaks sees it, trying to hold him off. Now the 77 goes up way high. Now looks like he's got a push coming away. Now looks like Oaksy sees it as well. He's trying to hold him off. Trying to get something here. Some hard racing to be had and some battles going each which way you can imagine here. Jeffrey Oaks though, coming up second in the original inaugural season, if you will, back in the Super Late Models division. That season going, of course, to a lot of drivers here, a lot of stuff taken care of there, and thankfully with the producers, they were nice enough to help us out and give us some work here with the sponsors. The sponsors are very cool about helping us out there, so we will talk with them every now and then about what they've done for us. So do appreciate them on the Facebook page, but also here up on their page right now, PTM Racing TV, as the 20 of Jeffrey Oaks there. Again, a little bit of a tag and a half there from Bob. Bob Hutchins and him honestly almost about took each other for a ride and a half, and the one of Warren Young was just kind of keeping an eye on it. Almost saw the damage that could have been dealt with. There's problems there for Chad Lancaster as well. He's down in out of turn 4. Major problems for him. Chantel Throttle Pottle had earlier problems. We'll see. Go to the PTM Instant Replay and find out what happened to Chad of all things. While the race battles in pursuit, we're going to take a look at Chad Lancaster and see what exactly happened on his end. Something not going right on turn 4's exit, it looks like, and I think we might know why now. Here's the PTM Instant Replay clip of it. Nixia coming around, here he goes low, then he goes high, trying to maneuver, but the evasive action, you gotta make it a little too squirrely. And with all that power, it's easier said than done to hold that line in. You can even see Brian Healy struggling, and the 22 just all but lost it and sent for the ride. Back on the show right now, we are having a huge battle still for the race lead. You see how tight and compact they are on those corners and on those exits especially. They are not giving anybody any chances here or anything to lose. The 77 of Cindy Taylor is trying to get up to the 77 of Bob Hutchins, while the one of Warren Young tries to push Jeffrey Oaks back into the lead just a little bit to where he can start to get a little bit more running, a little bit to make a pass. Coming off that exit here, they will bring all the power of the Super Late Model cars down out of the turn and mounting some momentum. The Revamped series here tonight really showing what's good and what's worth. And everybody doing what they can to try to get something going. But it seems like on those restarts, you've got to have a good push and a good start if you want to be in that leaders category, because the folks in the back right now are way behind the whole rest of the field. See right here, Robert the Rattlesnake Khan, that 21. He's got a lot of momentum loss as well, with Matthew Hofford in right with him and Todd Tubbs there in the 72. Just kind of playing the straggler here, if you will, just kind of playing into the no man's land. And on board here, you see that 84 Ford Mustang here of old Matthew Hofford. Still seeking his first win in the new Super Late Model division, but he does have race wins in the original Super Late Models. That's actually where he got his very first Asphalt Series win out of all things. And he told us earlier today, he still remembers that day at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He was so proud of that night. He was so proud to finally get a monkey off his back, if you will. That he felt like this carried over from NASCAR heat. But ever since then, it seems like he's either had some good finishes or he hasn't won. Now, he told us earlier that winning isn't everything, but He said it would be nice to finally get back into victory lane sooner or later. He's hoping that will be sooner rather than later, but right now, currently speaking of sooner than later, it looks like that 77 of Bob Hutchings is looking to possibly get something going a little quicker than anything around Warren Young here. As you see a little bit of a blink there on Bob. That's his internet connection, unfortunately, going out a little bit. You can see there's some problems with his connection to the server. And it's not getting any better for him at the moment, unfortunately. It's hurting him. And I think he knows it. The 20 of Jeffrey Oaks right now on the corner, inside line, trying to hold him off, trying to stay in it. So much power and momentum in that front to the back, but right now, it's really been the front back that's been making the most moves, the most runs here throughout this race. As you see the field right now just starting to separate and spread apart even further. Couldn't tell you exactly why that was the case here or why that is. As we go on board here, Brian Healy, you can just see, man, it's just nothing but a stretch of road in front of him. You would think right now he is literally on his own. And you might not be wrong on that one. But again, anything can happen around here in the racing industry. You never can be too sure. Chad Lancaster, after that little mess up he had earlier, starting to pull back a little bit. You see Chantel, the throttle Pottle, starting to move her way up into the field a little bit. Unique look and feel of these cars and designs. It'll be interesting to see what happens when you throw them on a track like Oxford come next week. That will definitely be something I would say, as you see Joker Joe Nudelman as well in the number 4, way back in the field. Kind of in a struggle to get back up there, but now you see the cars of the leaders going into pit road. Jeffrey Oaks, Warren Young, Sidney Taylor, Bob Hutchings all going in, as well as Jason Reif. Begs the question, will we see the rest of the field go in? And it looks like we will. Matthew Hofford and Robert Connor going in. Will Brian Healy follow in line? No, he will not. He's going to try to play the long-term game and the long run home. He will now take over the race lead. Not a bad idea on many levels if you think about it. Whoa, wait a minute. Hey, Warren Young completely missed the pit entry in his pit road. And all that momentum he had just a minute ago now completely wasted away and gone. Jeffrey Oaks gets out of there as well as Matthew Hoffer now. The rest of the field trying to get in there. I don't know if maybe he just completely missed that exit or what happened, but he has literally lost everything he was building up there. Robert Kahn's going to try to hurry up and get out there. Go back on board with Kahn. Don't overdrive it though too much there, boys, because you can do that. Oh, he's going for a lawn care service. I know 2021 ruined a lot of jobs, but I didn't realize that Kahn was that broke. He decided, I guess he had to go for a lawn care service job, try to keep up with cars' demand. Well, he'll falter back a ways and a half here, and now Matthew Hoffer and Bob Hutchings, probably the only two that can even get themselves a little bit of a help for a draft, because right now, Oaksy is literally 5 seconds ahead here. You can see right here on the scoreboard here right now, this is how things are playing out. And Jeffrey Oaks takes back the race lead here. Brian Healy goes into pit road, loses all that momentum he had just a minute ago. Will regain the lead and take it over as Chantel throttle bottle goes up on the high side, letting Oaksy pass by. Looks like maybe she didn't want to maybe get into trouble there or any problems, so that will definitely be a good sportsmanship on her end to let them race themselves out and let them battle it out, because we still got a whole lot of racing here. 23 laps will remain when we return here for some Battle of the Miller Racing League action here in the Super Late Models division. Well, tonight's race here for Battle of the Miller Racing League has been brought to you in part by Maconi Setup Shop. Only the best and fast setups come from Maconi Setup Shop. Visit up their website, MaconiSetupShop.com, to find the right setup for your next race. By Matt Mills Racing Team, the best Xfinity team out there, sponsoring and supporting Battle of the Miller Racing League this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing Team, visit them up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out their merchandise on. Hi, Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts. Bob's Custom Trophies is supplying up the trophies for the season champs this season. If you're looking to get the best hardware gift for your next event, visit up www.bobscustomtrophies.com. And I mentioned trophies. One trophy was sent out for the Super Late Model Champion. We're sending out the other, but we got 2 fresh ones here for the trucks and SLM when the season comes to an end. By SimRacingMerch.com, the perfect way to show your passion for sim racing. By GridFinder. GridFinder is the best way to find a new league. Filter your search by race day or geographical region, gaming platform, racing sim, and car class. If you need a broadcaster or library designer, search GridFinder, the home of online racing. By the ButtKicker. Best in performance for feeling on real tracks in the virtual world. The ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. By FEGPC.net. Best matching your want with your wallet. FEGPC.net will always work with your needs. Build the PC at the right price. By Brandon Minnick Sim Racing. Be sure to go on over to his Facebook page and support his merchandise and iRacing journey. Thank you again to Brandon Minnick for being a supporter of Pedal to the Metal. By Pottlez Wrapz. If you want your vehicle to match your style on the track, visit Pottlez Wrapz for just that. The most affordable designs made at your leisure. And by GreenTech Energy. GreenTech Energy, leading the way in solar energy and flare. They are the leaders in the new world. And speaking of a new world right now, caution does come out all of a sudden now. It looks like we have a little bit of a halfway point to get these drivers squared away and back up into position. You see how far everyone is right now. The caution comes out for the stage break. So I guess we kind of a little too quick to the commercial break there, I would say. But nevertheless, Jeffrey Oaks will be the front runner here on the restart. He will be the race leader. We'll see what happens when the drivers get their last back and get their lucky dogs in. But right now, if I'm in the Jeffrey Oaks camp, I got to be happy with this start right now. Right now, big lead. Only 20 some odd laps to go. Halfway through this one. I'd be living on Cloud 9 right about now if I was him. Well, if you're wondering why they're all running so hard right now under a caution, that's because they're trying to find the pace car around here. I believe the pace car is really down across on the back straightaway at the moment. There he is. The new and improved pace car that iRacing came out with here not too long ago. Right on the back straightaway, as you see. So one thing of note here tonight as well that we want to mention here is that we do have another race coming right after this one. You'll be seeing Mississippi Dirt action here up on the show here in just a little bit. Getting the asphalt boys and girls all settled away and taken care of here. And it's been just a pretty insane climactic night of sequence racing and all that, and definitely been enjoyable to say the least. There's been a lot of good stuff here from the drivers, but right now I gotta believe they are all wanting to maybe get a little bit further with the runs here and get something better taken care of. Well, they'll head into pit road right now. Looks like Todd is going to stay out. Honestly, that's going to be an interesting strategy on his end. Not sure if he's just trying to figure something new out here, or maybe he's just trying to lay into it a little bit more, but I don't know. I think he's just trying to maybe see what it works and what doesn't. If you're wondering also at home, like where their good friend Sparky Delicious right now, who's been hanging around me here on the Thursday night series. Well, unfortunately, he didn't make it tonight, so we had to kind of go about our business here and kind of get settled away. Although I think we'll have him next time out. Hopefully, I do miss old Sparky. He's always loved having him around when we can get him. While we get the drivers out of pit road and all centered away once again, we will hopefully have ourselves a little bit of a run and a half here from the later half of this race, but do not go anywhere, folks. When we come back, we will see the conclusion of the Super Late Models race here at Daytona International Speedway. Stay tuned for more action here. Keep it real with us, PTM Racing TV.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
At Maconi Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.maconisetupshop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. Maconi Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to the show right now as we're still getting things taken care of on our end. Drivers are settling up for the next big run of the race. On the restart here will be Todd Tufts here on the start with Bob Hutchinson following in behind. And right now, if I'm in the Bob Hutchins camp, I'm going to be a little bit happy because the thing is, if you look at our pit strategy right now, Todd, he did not go in when everyone else did. So he's the only driver out of that bunch that did not go in when everyone else, I think, could have and should have. So what does that really mean? What does that really mean here for Hutchings? Well, I mean, if I'm in his camp right now, I've got fresh tires and I've got a fresh set to work off of, and that will definitely help boost my confidence more. And as the green flag flies back on out, we're back underway racing here. 17 laps remain here. It will be a shootout to the end, as we'd like to say here on the show. Off that restart, Hofford, he didn't even get off the line. I'm not sure if he missed a gear completely or what happened, but that slows up a lot of the field. Everyone having to dive in quickly to the inside to try to keep up with Bob there. Hutchings has the run down the back straightaway, making his move, making his run forward. Todd Tufts there, unfortunately, because of that little issue he had, the fact that he hasn't gone into pit road, those tires aren't going to help him much. Slowing him way down completely on the run and on position, and it's not helping anymore. Jeffrey Oaks has got a run and a half here ahead with Warren Young, but Bob Hutchins is just not giving him anything. And there's a little bit of trouble there right down on the front straightaway. Major trouble. Cindy and Chantel into a major crash situation. And a major wreck ensues. Caution comes out. And it looks like Brian Healy got a little tag in that as well. Well, that brings up the old PTM Instant Replay to find out what happened here exactly. That was a bit of a crazy situation there. We're going to see it coming down around the front straightaway here. This is where everything went completely wrong on their end. We'll look at this on a few angles here, but here's the first angle here. Comes right out, Todd Tufts. Slower tires, and you see Chantel, she was trying to avoid him. Unfortunately, couldn't quite clear him. And then everything else kind of went to crazy town. We'll show you another angle here from our perspective. This is the cockpit view here of Chantel here, and what you're going to see is basically what she had to try to avoid when she had to get into that issue with Todd Tufts there. Here's the instant replay one more time. Drove it in too quick, and you know, all that momentum these super late model cars have, they're not designed to go that kind of speeds and that kind of route, but you know what, that's kind of the beauty that comes with racing in general, is that you always want to try something new and different. And in this case, I don't think it worked out too well there for the drivers here as the next caution comes out. Only the second caution of the night if you don't count that stage break there, but that will definitely help out, in my opinion, Jeffrey Oaks a lot more than anything, as well as Warren Young. Because Bob Hutchings is not going to run away from this one just so easily. And with only about 12 laps to go in this case, I think honestly it could go either way for the drivers. So now you really got to be asking yourself at home, alright, so why is it we keep mentioning that these cars are not meant for a track like this, or they're not meant to run on something like something in this case? Well, obviously these super late model cars don't build up a lot of momentum like the Cup cars do, and or the trucks or even Xfinity, but the amount of power they have underneath is a lot more than what they would have had with the late model division, so they are able to make some good runs in some big positions here where they need to, and in turn it helps them kind of keep things going more and out from there. So when you're seeing them run as hard as they do on those drafts and all that, it's because they're trying to build up momentum from the downforce to help give them some more power under the hood, because the car itself doesn't have enough power to get up close to the leaders if they're that far away, like you saw with Bob Hutchings there a minute ago. Bob just had a tremendous lead on the drivers, and there was no catching them there. So the way things are going to play out here on the restart, you will see everyone have a little bit of a running path and running the inside and bottom line, as well as maybe a little bit of that high side, try to keep up with everything. But the question is, will they have enough time to keep up with that momentum and keep up through with the way the cars have been playing out tonight? Chantel's still in pit road right now. I think she's still dealing with some damage up on the car there. Get a bump cam there, you see right there, she is. Don't know if she'll have enough time to get out of pit road. There are only a couple of in-stir repairs that are allowed here. They are allowed 3 in total. And with a track like this, well, let's just say you can use them up pretty quickly if you're not careful. Gonna pop up the instant replay real quick, make sure we are right on that. Yes, there are only 3 instant repairs here. Had to ask the producers about that, so they said just look it up. Like, oh, okay, well, let's look it up then. So, obviously, not quite our best broadcast. Most folks obviously know us for a little more of that action, but you know what? That's all right. We'll be okay here. Because like I said, we have one race coming up here in just a little bit at Lernerville that I guarantee you will make things a lot more interesting, and I think you'll keep you guys on the edge of your seats. With Lernerville Speedway, there is no holding back there. When you get onto that when you get into that run and you get into that position, there is only one way to survive, and that is trying to not crash or lose your position when you're literally up on the high banks of Lerner. And that's really the only place those dirt stocks can be able to run at. The bottom line there doesn't really help you too much other than 1 and 2. So you may see a lot of 3 wide, 4 light salutes there, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But of course right now we're still here with the super late model division here at Daytona, as Pedal to Metal Racing League tries to figure out how to finish this one out and come to an end. They'll haul them down around out of turn 4 this time, but the pace car is going to get off the track. And then we're going to get back to racing action here. And the green flag flies back on out. We are back underway. Here we go. Yeah, getting word right now from the chat. Shan coming in here saying the race is over for her, and a tough break there for her, unfortunately. We'll hopefully see her a little more action. We'll hopefully see her next time out at Oxford when the time comes. But on the restart right here currently, Bob Hutchings has the race lead in a pretty good position in. Warren Young right now trying to stay with him, trying to keep up with it. Jeffrey Oaks right now in position as well. These drivers continuously putting everything they can to their limits in their full throttle situations. Oaks seeing him finally again, one little push up there. It looks like Bob left high and dry. Now looks like Warren and Jeffrey have something coming for him. They're helping each other get ever so slightly and closer in there. This could be the run they've been looking for. Bob's going to try and stay on the bottom, try to stay in the middle and defend them off because he knows that's where they're going to go. If you get a run, the tighter you can shorten the track out, the better your run is. That's why a lot of folks try to stay to the bottom line. Round out of turn 4 here. Everyone's still hammering down, staying in the momentum here and giving them what they've got. Kenneth Crawford saying good racing as always with PTM. Thank you again, Kenneth, for joining us on in, buddy. Right out of the front straightaway, this is the battle for the race lead. Still, there are only 10 laps remaining, and you can see the distance and fear in the eyes of Hutchings right now. He's trying to stay ahead. He knows he is being caught red-handed here by that 20 of Jeffrey Oaks and the Warren Young, and the one is just looking for an opening to take him down. Hard on the throttle, hard on the momentum here. Everybody's still trying to see if they can get one last little gas, one last little push. You can see there coming down the track front straightaway there. You see Cindy Taylor and Joker Joe Nuttleman helping each other out a little bit. Robert the Rattlesnake trying to be the old instigator of drafting around here, trying to push everyone back up to the front. As they come back right into the corners of turn 2, Joker Joe and Cindy the Closer Taylor trying one more time to get up there. And it looks like there's problems there for Robert Kahn. Kahn completely dived into the back straightaway. Major problems for him, and he is now to the race all of a sudden. Oh my, this is not what I think he was hoping for, what he was intending on having happen. And now he has literally lost all that ground and clearance he had. The issues continue for old Rattlesnake. The 84 Matthew Hopper trying to help out Joker Joe Nuttleman. As you see the three that are in the battle for the race lead still. Jeffrey Oaks, Warren Young, they are the two challengers to that man right here on the screen, number 77 of Bob Hutchins. Seeded number 8 out of the season here from last season. Now coming in here trying to possibly get himself to seeded number 1 and have a race and a half here. Oaksy seems to be moving around a little bit, kind of trying to dive around, see if there's any openings here. Warren seems to be trying to push more up to him. I don't know if he's going to try to go for that run on the outside line. No, he defends it off, backs off a little bit. Interesting strategy on the driver's end, but I gotta wonder, are they going to try to make the pass and make the move at a certain point? Because you can't just keep staying back there forever and think it's going to work out. You've got to somehow, some way make a move here when it counts and when you need to. Oaksy knows this, so does Young. Young, obviously, the only driver out of this field right now, that out of the 3 you see on the leaderboard, that have never won a single race in iRacing. And Austin, he's never won a race in Pedal to the Metal at all. He's come so close so many times. There's some trouble there for Joker Joe Nuttleman and Brian Healy. There's major trouble out of turn. Looks like 4 there. Both drivers involved in that one, a huge collision course. Joker Joe and Brian Healy crashed in Mage time. And caution does come out. So we'll let them get things fixed up that way here, and we're going to find out what the heck happened to Healy and Joe here. That was a major wreck. Oh man, both drivers really caught up in that one here. We're going to take a look at this on the replay screen here and see where these two went into each other. Looks like Joe got a little bit in trouble there when he was with Cindy the Closer Taylor here. This is coming down the back straightaway. Watch closely here to that blue car. You see the 7, and then watch the 4. Just a little too close together, and Joe unfortunately just kind of tagged in a little, and you see right there, he was already out of it, and then Brian Healy actually came in to come finish the job. That's where the major wreck came in. Taking our look at it from another angle here. You see just nothing but a puff of smoke. You don't even know where the car is till it was too late. And that was a major smash and a half there from Healy. And again, he didn't even see Joe. He didn't even see Joe because unfortunately he was already in trouble there. This is where he got in serious trouble. He taps Cindy, gets loose, and manages to avoid trouble. But again, if you want to know something about iRacing, is that the realism is with everything on the track. It's not just in the car feel, it's the track itself and how much it changes on you. And if you see something like that on you all of a sudden where it smokes up and just completely ruins your race, well, that's part of the allure and the appeal, but that's also kind of the scary part. And unfortunately, it looks like Joker Joe and Brian Healy are both out of the competition here. Joe has blown the motor. He's trying to get in and get it fixed up, but I don't think he's going to have enough time here. Looks like Chantel said even though her night was over, looks like she managed to get it back out for one more restart. So on this next restart, folks, it will be a green-white checker finish. And if I'm in the Oaksey and Warren Young camp, I'm thinking, well, excuse me, the Oaksey and Jason Reif camp, I'm thinking, okay, do not hold back, fire on all cylinders if I want to win this race. So while the drivers get all settled up and taken care of here, a little bit of a little lap back, if you will, for that throttle there, Chantel Pottle. Trying to maybe somewhat get something figured out and get things taken care of on her end. The Fury 54 and then that Ford Motorsports 7 of Sydney, the closer Taylor. Man, what a season she's had as of late on the show. She's got three, all of a sudden, literally her season, a couple of seasons ago, she was not winning one race. She won the season championship the first season. But after that, it seemed like everything just completely changed on her, and she wasn't able to get anything going in Season 2. But now, here in Season 3, and even on the other series here, a new series that came out called Pushing Limits Racing League, ran by a different company and ran by different drivers, ran by different folks over there. They had actually brought her in and her brother Keith. And just like when they did with Pure Speed Elite Series, they managed to show up and pretty much take over a little bit for a while, but you know, the thing is, and the difference there is she's actually got a few race wins in already. She seems to really like these super late model cars wherever she goes, and she proved it back in Nashville there just a couple days ago, winning there and pulling off probably the biggest upset, I would say, out of the bunch, where she managed to make a huge move around, I believe it was Keith Checkmate Taylor, and I can't remember the other driver's name, but right off the top of my head, but man, she had to pull that maneuver. You go back and watch it on the show, it's on here. She had they were literally double file there on the turn 1 and 2. I believe Keith and the other driver gets into it. She managed to sneak underneath and just take the position away, and she pretty much just won the whole race from it. If she hasn't really gotten into her frame of mind and actually figured out how to really truly build a car around these places, I don't know how the heck she is even with us here. But she is definitely going to be one of those guys, gals, in my opinion, that you've just got to keep your eye on for the rest of this season, especially this being a season starter. She's got a fresh take and a hot streak right now going. She will be one of the drivers I feel as though they will fear later on. Keith Checkmate Taylor, unfortunately, out at the moment. Chantel, despite being 8 laps down, she's going to still be down too much to even catch up to Colin and Edelman. They were able to finish their laps back. Bob Hutchings and Jeffrey Oaks and all them. We'll have a war of words here, and Healy looks like he'll get his lap back, so we're staying under caution to set up for the green-white checkered finish here. It'll be interesting stuff, to say the least. Jeffrey Oaks, man, he's one of those guys that, you know, I was said a couple seasons ago, really was starting to come to his own and started to really bring things back to life, and I said it before, and I'll say it again, it was just a matter of time before he started winning. He seems to like these plate tracks a lot. Back at Truck Series, he managed to win there from a solid race and a solid battle. managing to hold off some tough competition, but seems like ever since then he's either been kind of okay to just, all right, well, we need to make a big move, but how do we get around some things? But I think right now with this restart, I think he will definitely want every ounce of Bob on this one. I think he's just trying to look for that opening, look for that chance. Keeps checkmate Taylor, runs in, so saying she's honestly a great driver, referring to Cindy, brother to her obviously. It sucks I was unable to make it, but great job down there tonight. We appreciate it here, man. Great job. Thank you for kind words here for the show. As the drivers will come out of turn 3 into 4, then the restart flag comes on out, which sets up for tonight's action. And we will see everything come back in full gear and all that. I mentioned before, and I'll say it again here, there's a lot of drivers in this series that are still looking for their first Super Late Model Division win, much less their first win in general. Jason Reif is one of them. He's never won on the League Series. He would like to change that here with this race. Matthew Hoffer, he knows what it's like to be in victory lane, but not saying he wouldn't like to do another. And Chad Lancaster, another guy that you just always got to watch out for wherever he goes. And in this restart, he's going to try to do just that as the green flag flies back on out. We're back underway, and that was not the restart they wanted at all. Chad Lancaster and Cindy the Closer Taylor tagged in that one. Matthew Hoffer as well as Will Chantel, Throttle Pottle, all caution in, battle out. Caution is out. I was just starting to hype things up and get things figured out here, and then all of a sudden, the restart wasn't what they were looking for, obviously, and that was definitely not the case here at all, man. Oh my, that was a horrible restart. I don't try to be biased or anything like that, but that was a horrible restart. Let's take a look at the replay. Let's see what happened here. Coming on the front straightaway here. And you can see right there, Chad just spotted 3 wide in between Reif and Cindy. Now, I'm not sure if he thought he had room or if he had an opening there to go with, but he must have thought he did because he went right in there and just plowed her in pretty much. Just said, oh, screw it, I'm going to send it. Try to get up to the front, although, to be honest, I would have waited a little longer than to try to do it right there and then. Here is the restart entirely. You can see off that start, Sydney looks like she might have had some troubles. Looks like Jason didn't even get off, but unfortunately, because they were too tight there, Reif and him got into each other, and then Sydney kind of got the rear end of that one as well. So, looked like maybe Reif did not get off that start, and that's what caused that caution to come out. But I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judges. I'll let you be the judges at home, because in all honesty, I don't know if I would have made that move the way I did right there and then. I would have probably tried to be a little bit more patient and wait for it. Well, they're going to try it again. They are allowed 3 restarts, by the way, so it's not like they can't. Lee Putter Paul says, go Chantel. He's rooting on for her gal tonight. Great to have you all on board right now as we're getting ready to finish this one out. So, right now, and I hate to admit something as well here, unfortunately, but just heads up, Chantel unfortunately did fall quite a few laps down in this case, so I don't know if she has enough time to get back into it. We'll see on the gap for her right now. We'll see on our spot here. She is still 7 laps down, but she will be ahead now of Joker Joe and Con here. Unfortunately, both drivers ending up falling victim to the old glitch graphic gremlins around here in the cars and on their tracks. And Bob Hutchings, because of that restart, actually did not have enough fuel to last out. So this right here, my friends, may have just changed the game completely up, because you see on screen 2 drivers that have never won in a league race at all with Pedal Metal, or any series for that matter, in any division. Warren Young would like to finally end that tonight. The NOS Energy Chevrolet is going to do just that if he can. In the 72 of Todd Tubbs. Boy, would he love to finally end a little career renaissance here. The season just started and things are getting crazy out here. Matthew Hoffer's another driver though that would love to possibly put in victory lane and end another drought he's had as of late on the show. Bob getting back up to where he was though, so he'll have a fresh set of tires and a fresh fuel reserve. And if you look at the pit strategy right now, this is how it's been playing out. And Lancaster and Hutchings, you know, that's honestly going to be a little bit of problem territory, if you will, for Bob, because even though Bob had went in there, Lancaster hasn't gone in pit road in a while. And obviously Hoffer, Tufts, and Young, they went at the same time, so they don't necessarily have, well, I should say Lancaster actually did go into pit road, I apologize there. So Young, Tufts, and Hoffer actually will be the guys a little slower on the restart. And with Lancaster, you saw him trying to make that big move early. I don't know if he could do that necessarily again, because remember, you can only do so many times before you really get yourself in trouble. And remember, the race officials do keep an eye on these things. So, and the rule of thumb is if you take it 3 wide and you cause that wreck, you're going to get yourself points docked. So we'll see what the officials say later on. But at this moment, this restart is looking more and more and more like it's going to be one of those bad, fast, maniac kind of runs. The question is, who's going to be able to get the run off that? They're going to bring it down the strip here. Will this be our final caution of the night? Will this be the end of a race built for the season and built for the start? Remember, next week they will be at Oxford, and that will be where we see things get a little more hectic, in my opinion. But tonight they obviously all want the same thing, which is to make a name for themselves and make a little ground up in position. Who is taking home the first race of the revamped new series for season 3 SLM? We're going to find out right now as they come across here at turn 4, setting up for the final run. We're not even really talking. We're just going to let these drivers give you an idea of what it feels like with those motors revving, the power-hungry cars. Looking for that green flag to come out, looking for the lights to come back on, and it has now as they come down the front straightaway. Hutchings obviously going to look for an opening here. He's going to try to get it quick. Todd's up on the high side, though. That's a little bit of a problem, though, for him, but he seems to have lost a lot of ground, getting a little bit of a push. Hutchings now opens the door up. He sees it. There is only 2 laps to go. They will have a white flag come out this next time by. A lot cleaner than the last restart. Jeffrey Oaks now starting to move a little bit on the backstretch. Looks like he's got something going. Warren Young is literally staying ahead of the whole field, though, by a good margin of error, trying to make sure Bob doesn't get that draft off him. But he has to stay low to try to keep his momentum going, which unfortunately Bob's going to do the same. He's going to get him on that back straightaway, I guarantee you, next time around. We're coming down to the white flag now as they bring it out. Trouble there for Jason Wright as he goes into the wall protection. He is in the wall. They crash down the front straightaway. Lancaster and him have smashed in completely. The white flag is out now. 1 more to go. Coming down the back straightaway. They'll hit it by side for second. Bob and Young, Oaksey. Warren Young, though, still has a run. Trying to get a hand from Oaksey. Oaksey trying to push him around. They connect a little bit there. That could have been an interesting finish there for a little deja vu. The first televised Daytona race live in its pride, but there's trouble there for Bob Hutchings and Jeffrey Oaks, and unfortunately Oaksey gets Young and Hutchings. They crash on the front. They crash out of turn 3. Oaksey manages to survive, and coming to the end, Jeffrey Oaks is going to win it all. But I don't know how that one's going to go down with the officials. That could be interesting on that call right there. I mean, I don't know, fans. I don't know. You guys be the judge, but Jeffrey Oaks is your race winner. The officials are giving us that right now. They are saying, without looking at everything, he is the winner. But that is going to stir up some controversy if I ever saw it. And a tough break there for Warren Young. Unfortunately, man, he is just cannot catch a break wherever he goes. And another loss, unfortunately, for his end. We're going to go back and look at the PTM Instant Replay all the way through on that one because I feel like we may need to see that one in its entirety again. We need to analyze this a little bit here. Let's take a look at the full replay and the crux of what happened here. Because obviously we saw Jeffrey Oaks getting a good run there in a good position, and obviously when you're as tight as you are there, I mean, anything can happen, but, you know, was there foul play? We'll see here. Take it to the blimp cam here. Down that back straightaway here, right here is where things get interesting, and you can see Bob drifted down maybe a little bit. Oaksy may have got in there, but and that completely centered off and lost everything there. We're going to take another look at it from another angle here. I'll be honest, folks. I mean, it's hard to call. From my angle, the way I saw it, it looked like it could have been a racing ordeal. But these speeds, these super late model cars, they're not easy to handle either. We're going to see it here down that back stretch. And, you know, obviously Oaksy's trying to push Warren, and they have to kind of watch out for that. I don't know. To me, it looks like Oaksy drifted up slightly, and that's where he got into Hutchings. Hutchings, I think, held his line. So, I mean, you can be the judge all you want, but to me, that was, I think Oaksy just kind of brought it up a little too hard, and it just crashed him. We're going to show you one last view, and this might be the most, this might be the one I think you're all looking for. Just kind of right up in there, and you can see he's trying to avoid Warren. Warren, unfortunately, is out and gone, and that was the end of his night. And that is the end of the race here tonight as well. So Brian Healy stopped on the front straightaway here. I think he's just enjoying the gaze of the lights right now. Well, we're gonna head down and talk with our drivers here and have a word with them. But your third place finisher here tonight is going to be Todd Tufts. And Todd, I gotta believe, is a little bit shocked here to actually taking home a position. We'll show you the race results right now here up on the scoreboard. Before we get to that, here's your final results. Jeffrey Oaks with the winner's circle. Cindy the Closer Taylor does finish second, though. Third goes to Todd Tufts. Fourth to Matthew Hoffert. Fifth to Brian Healy. Sixth to Chad Lancaster. Seventh to Bob Hutchings. Eighth to Warren Young. Ninth to Jason Reif. 10th to Chantel Throttle Pottle. 11th to Joe Nuttleman. 12th to Robert Kahn. And 13th to Keith Chuck McTaylor to round out your field here tonight. As we now head it down here to talk with our guys, let's have a word here with our driver here in third place. This is Jeffrey Todd Tufts now on the booth. And Todd, I don't know, man. That was a bit of a crazy ending, to say the least. Did you catch anything what happened there? Todd, you got a copy, buddy? Somebody pull his strings. I think he's not talking around here, folks. We got some troubles down here on the mic tonight. Well, trying to get something here, Tom. I'm trying to see if we can get the mic working with you here on this end, but I'm not catching anything on your end. We're gonna double check everything here, but yeah, everything's working all right on our end, so we know it's working fine. Yeah, it's one thing about audio, unfortunately, you never can be too sure with. Whoop, a little spark there.
Is it because it's muted?
Oh, there you go, Todd. Hey! Yeah, you were muted there, man. You got it all fixed up, though, I would see. All right. So, Todd, real quick here, congratulations on a third place finish here tonight, man. But, man, that was a pretty long run you had there and everything that went down. What, did you catch anything that happened on that front straightaway there to the end? I think, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get a talk with him here tonight, so we'll just we'll give him third place finish valid here, and then we'll go ahead and now have a little thing here for Cindy the Closer Taylor here. She will take home second place. So a good start to her season, obviously, for the new season revamped and all that. We'll see if it all comes back to play out a little later on. But right now, she starting out pretty good at the moment. So congratulations to her. We're seeing if possibly Jeffrey Oaks will come and talk with us here. I don't know if he feels a little bit guilty about that one or not. I don't know what's going on down there. I do know we do not have word from him or confirmation. I think maybe he's going to just call it a night on his end tonight here, folks. So if that is the case here, congratulations to Jeffrey on your win here tonight. But definitely a little bit of controversy to start the SLM series out, man. What a crazy night it was. Well, that's going to wrap it up here for us on PTM Racing TV for the Pedal in the Middle Racing League Series. So to Maconi Setup Shop, to Matt Mills Racing, to Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, to SimRacingMerch.com, to GridFinder.com, to the ButtKicker, to FEGPC.net, to Brandon Minnick Sim Racing, to Pottlez Wrapz, to GreenTech Energy VA. Thank you again for all your support and sponsoring up here for these drivers, giving them a chance, giving them a show. We appreciate all that and then some, and we hope you enjoyed the show here on as well. I've been your host, Christian the Crusader Driver. I'm going to sign off for now. Hopefully we get something going here for our Mississippi Dirt, but we'll talk with them here in a minute. Nevertheless, here, guys, we love you all. Be safe. God bless. Take care. We'll see you next time with the Green Flag Flies right here on PTM Racing TV.